Yeah.
Forget the rest.
Are y'all feeling that?
You're rocking with the best radio station on the planet. SDM Live Unplugged.
Hey, what's up, y'all? And we're back. I'm Bree.
I'm Princess.
And this is Women Who Shine, where we highlight women entrepreneurs every Wednesday. And I am super excited about our guest today.
Yes.
Our theme is women in media, and we have our very own Megan Kirk.
Hello, hello, hello.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So Megan Kirk is a multimedia journalist who has contributed to several publications and private outlets. Her work has been featured in the Michigan Chronicle, and she's also been featured on TV One for My Man. So very exciting. So Megan, thank you so much. And Princess is going to start us off today.
So nice meeting you, Megan.
An absolute
you
pleasure.
Look beautiful.
Thank you.
So as a journalist, can you just tell us, like, how did you get your start?
So that is honestly probably the most interesting story about me. So I went to Michigan State, go green.
Woo woo.
Went to Michigan State and matriculated through college, whatnot, what have you. I get to my senior year and I ran out of financial aid. This is something a lot of people don't know. I actually dropped out of school with 9 credits left of my journalism degree. Okay. And I got a little discouraged. My family couldn't afford it. It was roughly about $10,000 left. Wow. So I did what any normal person would do. I went to work. Went and got a job, a big girl job, and got sucked into the money. You know, I'm gonna leave the person out of it, but got sucked into the money, but it wasn't fulfilling me. Like journalism has always called to my heart. And in 2020, I broke my knee. I had a freak accident and I fell off of a scooter. You know them little lime scooters? Okay. Hit a pothole in Detroit, fell in the pothole, broke my knee, tore my ACL. It was probably the worst injury anybody can get. So I went through that, and while I was on bed rest, I'm like, okay, I got some extra money. I have nothing else to do. So I went back to school, paid for my last 9 credits out of pocket, and just so happened a really great friend of mine, shout out to Alex Washington from Metro Times. She got in touch with a friend of mine who got in touch with me about a speed dating for journalists and editors. And I'm like, I have no real clips, but I'm just, whatever, throw myself out there. And that was probably the best decision I could have ever made for myself, because that is the moment my journalism career was birthed, literally from bed rest and depression.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people, I'm finding out, like, when they're birthed into, like, their purpose or careers, it's usually, like, through some traumatic experience.
I mean, God didn't have to sit me down like that. I don't know. I could have got the hint a different way. Or just like, you couldn't text me Jesus or something. But yeah, it was, even though it was rough, it took me about 8 months.
Wow.
Of recovery, 2.5 months to learn how to walk again. But all through that, I can't even lie. Like, God truly sustained me. Like, I had no job, obviously. I couldn't walk. I had no income coming in, but I steadily paid my tuition bill every single month without fail. I never missed. My mama didn't help me. Yeah. So it was just honestly the biggest blessing to really see God say, okay, now it's your time to shine.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Don't make me cry, y'all.
I was literally telling Princess earlier, like, I'm so proud of you, because I remember when we were at Quicken, and I remember, like, the passion that you have for journalism, and, like, you telling me that story about not finishing, and now you're, like, finally where you need to be, and you're, like, excelling.
You know what? Don't make me cry on these Good People podcasts.
It's just the truth. Look, it's just that, like, every time I see her post a story that she's written, and I'm sure there's many stories, it's just like my heart gets warm. It does, because I'm like, I'm so proud of you, and I'm so happy that you're finally where you wanted to be all along. Yeah. So you might have to take a couple steps back, but, like, look at how, you know, forward you moved.
2020 was actually a really rough year. Like, outside of me becoming disabled, I went through a really rough breakup and some personal issues that encompassed that breakup. So I really feel like 2020 defined me. Like, I know we were all going through the pandemic and all of that, but for me, the pandemic has been kind to me, and I can't even, I'm grateful I haven't caught nothing, thank God. And I've been able to be in some truly amazing rooms and meet some truly amazing people, 50 Cent and Spike Lee and Daniel Kaluuya and Damson Idris and
How was that experience?
Oh my God. Damson Idris is the exact way he looks on TV. The British accent, the beautiful chocolate skin, girl. Yes.
He looks like a charmer.
He was very, you know what? He was very professional, though. Yeah. We were talking about the new season of Snowfall. Okay. Yeah. And he was very comical, very funny.
I was say he looks funny.
He's very funny. Yeah. He definitely took the edge off because, interviews in general, you get nervous.
Yeah.
It's even heightened when you're in front of a celebrity or something like that. So when I meet Michelle Obama, y'all, I might pass out.
Liz, that's how I feel if I meet Oprah. I like stalk her page every day and I'm like, adopt me, please.
You know what's so funny though that she said Oprah? If you look at my phone, I have her listed as Young O.
Me?
Yes. It says Bree Young O.
You're like literally the second person that said that, and that's an honor because Oprah is my mentor. Like, she really is.
But you have the tools. Like, when you invited me, I was so honored because I still feel very fresh in the game. A lot of people tell me I'm too humble, but I still have a lot more work to do. So,
yes, I'm excited.
Yes. So within your writing, like, how did you develop like your style of writing and like your tone as a journalist?
That's an amazing question. So honestly, I stick to a lot of what I learned in the J school. Okay. A lot of my work is still very traditional journalism, very structured. But I've been blessed to write under an editor who truly believes in me. And gives me the autonomy and gives me pushback. Like, if I need an extra kick, like, okay, Megan, you're better than this. Dig a little deeper. So I've been blessed to have her as a mentor, kind of helping me and molding me into what I am today. I owe her a lot for helping me to shape my journalism style and my tone.
That's cool, yeah. So for women, right, who want to like break into like journalism, that wants to write, like, what would like some tips or advice you would give them?
Ooh.
where to start, or like just some tips?
Oh goodness. Okay. The first thing I would do is start reading a whole bunch of different publications, because every publication has a different style, has a different tone, has a different rhetoric. So I would say read a couple different publications, specifically ones geared towards what you have a passion for. Okay. So for me, I love politics. I'm a theater nerd, so I like entertainment. I love theater. I love lifestyle, the community. I love digging into the city and finding those little nuances, those little stories of the neighbor, the postal worker, the people who are really making the community tick. So I tend to read a lot of local papers. Yeah. But if you have aspirations of going on the national level, Huffington Post or New York Times or Los Angeles Times are always really, really great. The Chicago Tribune. I would say just dig deep, and then also find a mentor. Find someone who won't judge you for the things you don't know, and who has time and patience to really nurture you, because journalism is a lot about who you know and not necessarily what you know. Wow. You can learn on the fly. You can learn anything on the fly. I've been thrown in circumstances like, I don't know what I'm doing. But you can learn it and you can fake your way through it. But your reputation, who you know, how you carry yourself, your attitude, all of that is what's going to keep you propelled to the next level and to get you in rooms, your name in rooms that you aren't in yet.
But there you have it. So if you're trying to break into journalism, those are some tips.
And I'm open. Like, if someone wants to reach out to me via DM or whatever, I am not like a stick in the mud, Bree knows. I'm pretty much an open book. So if you have questions, I certainly have answers.
I really, really, really like your just your whole vibe, like your spirit. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because like when you ask people, a lot of people withhold information. To like for people that's trying to come up, or that's trying to break into an area. So for you to say like, you know, people can DM you, I think that is just wonderful. Like if they have questions, because I feel like, a lot of people in our community, women in particular, that's who we're talking to, want to do things, especially like since the pandemic has happened. A lot of people are doing career shifts.
Absolutely.
And trying to really follow their passion and their purpose, but don't know where to start or who to reach out to or what to do. And sometimes, like, yeah, we have Google, but just to know somebody in the industry, like, really helps because you have that representation. So I really like that.
And I would be, like, remiss if I don't mention to just jump. When I got into journalism, I was working a job I hated.
Wow.
Absolutely hated. There's nothing, listen to me, people. There's nothing positive, okay, that I can say about this job outside of the fact that I quit. So when I was approached by my editor to have a little bit more of a recurring role in the paper, I was like, oh, I'm quitting. I took a pay cut. Wow. I was making less, but I didn't care, because I felt like this was a stepping stone to my journey. So she was like, you gonna quit? I said, yeah, girl, I'm out. And I laid in the bed one day and I prayed about it. I'm like, okay, God, I'm really scared, because what am I gonna do if this fails? I have no money. I had just come off my injury, so I had like nothing in the savings. And I just felt this calm. It's almost indescribable. I just felt this calm. It was like 7:00 in the morning. And I emailed my boss at that job and said, yeah, I won't be back. And I never intend on working for somebody again.
You preaching.
Yeah. Listen, goals, okay?
Yeah.
Ultimate goals. Speaking of ultimate goals, what is your ultimate goal for 2022?
Oh. So my ultimate goal for 2022, honestly, is to expand my brand. Like, people have seen my name in one particular publication or maybe in a couple of different spaces, but I really want to expand my brand. And I do want to do something that's empowering for women, because as women, I feel like we get stuck in complacency.
Yes.
We become moms, so you get stuck being a mother. We become wives, you get stuck being a wife. And we get all these titles. Don't you preach.
I said that. No more, princess. Not no more.
But we get these titles and we get stuck in these spaces, and we forget that you were a whole person before you were a mother, before you were a wife, before you were this title of grandeur, you were you. So what is it that you can do for you that'll satisfy you? Because being a wife is not satisfying to your spirit. Being a mother is not, I mean, for some people it is, if that's your life goal. But for those women out there who have bigger dreams, bigger aspirations, girl, jump. And God will handle the rest.
Listen, I'm sorry. Jesus Christ.
Listen, she about to make me send that email.
Listen, I almost got up. And I'm just speaking from I'm sorry, Bree.
No, go ahead.
I'm just speaking from the wife aspect, because I'm a new wife. And I do feel like I thank God for my husband. But he does pushes me. But I do feel like there's still a sense of, okay, you still need to do what you were doing before.
That feeds princess.
Yes, that fulfills me. And I think sometimes, like, I'm even guilty of this, like, when you're not fulfilled, you look for that in that person, and that person cannot fulfill that. But that's another podcast. But
she said that's another show for another day.
Yes. I'm so churchy. I'm about to say, yes, Lord.
Honey, I'm in the middle of consecration right now.
I was like, okay, go ahead, Brie.
No, you're 100% right. So I want to talk a little bit about your experience of being on TV, because we talked earlier that you were on the show For My Man. How was that for you?
Honestly, I was excited but nervous because the taping was for hours. Yeah. Even though the show is 1 hour, sitting in front of that producer, reading that teleprompter with them lines and them spotlights and the backdrops, I was like, okay, God, you just keep throwing me into stuff. I don't know. But once again, that situation came about from my name being introduced in a room that I was not in. Shout out to China Harrison. She's a friend, a really good friend of mine who I met at Michigan State, who's an actress. Wow. And she's doing some really amazing things in her craft. And somebody was looking for a journalist in Detroit. And she said, oh, my girl can do that. Tag me in the post. The lady emailed me, and the rest is history. These are the things that, even outside of journalism, you always want to hold yourself like a woman, walk in a room like a lady, so people can talk highly of you, so people can be, you know Megan Kirk? Oh, yeah. You don't ever want nobody to be like, oh, you know Megan Kirk?
Right.
It's all about the tone. Yeah. And I'm grateful because she doesn't even live in Michigan. She's home-based in Georgia. Wow. And I think she's bi-coastal right now because she's working on a film. So to be introduced in that way from someone who isn't in my immediate circle, in my city watching, it really gave me goosebumps, guys. And being in that space, like my mom, y'all, she done recorded the episode.
She said this to everybody.
No facts. My whole family has been so supportive. Like, they were so excited. My sister is like, I feel like I'm watching a movie and my sister is starring. Wow. Those are the things that propelled me. I want to make my mama proud. I want to buy my mama a house. That's the goal.
Come on.
Yes. I'm going to get her out of Southfield.
Come on. Yes. I love it. I love
it. That's so awesome. So we talked a little bit about your injury, but let's talk a little bit about, I guess, like some of your downfalls that you're willing to share with us that you've experienced from, journalism.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of it is self-inflicted. Mm-hmm. I can't even say that the journalism world has been unkind to me, because that would be a lie. Mm-hmm. A lot of it is that self-doubt that rings in the back of your thoughts, like, can I do this? Mm-hmm. Why am I chosen? Is this person next to me better than me? You really get imposter syndrome sometimes. Yeah. And you trick yourself into believing, like, oh, Megan, you can't do this. Mm-hmm. Wow. Oh, you're overwhelmed, you're tired. But it's like, no, I can do this. So I would say that part was a major stumbling block for me. Okay. And I think another one was time management. When you are a journalist, a lot of your schedule is completely autonomous. So it's like you are stacking your day. And when I first began writing, I had no idea. I had no work-life balance. Mm-hmm. So it was like I was spilling all this time into work, but my friendships were suffering. My relationships were suffering. My friends would be like, oh, I haven't talked to you in a month. I thought you were mad at me. Or what's going on? And it would be like I had to check myself, like, okay, you have to figure out some time to kind of dedicate to these people who've nurtured you before you got to where you were. Because I never want to lose what I consider my family. They are my chosen family. So once it was brought to my attention, and I have two really great girlfriends who have no problem getting me together, like, okay, girl, pick your head back up out of your work and come live. And I would say that would be another one. I dug so deep that I wasn't living my life. I was writing, I was producing content, I was getting my name out there. And in some respects, like, yes, that's what I wanted, but I also wanted to be able to share the fruits of my labor with my friends, with my family. So, yeah, I think those are the ones.
Yes. Okay, Molly from Insecure.
Right. You know what? Don't kill me, y'all. I have not watched one episode.
Listen, I just started today, and I am like season 1, episode 1.
Really? Oh, okay. Let me know when you get to the end.
Okay. You know what? Everybody was like, I'm so surprised that you don't watch Insecure. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I am.
I don't know what to
But that's
say.
like when people are like, oh, you don't watch Power? I mean, I watch Power, but like people are like, oh, you don't watch Power? Yeah. But Insecure is one of those shows. You remind me of Miley.
Really?
Because she is super into her work. She's super like into her work. Friends is on the back burner. Relationships are not really the focus. And yeah.
She has a lot going
I mean, I want to fall in love. I want to ring like princesses, you know.
Listen, we all want to ring like princess.
Because he did very well, okay?
Listen.
But realistically,
Yeah, keep praying for.
Listen.
throw
gotta-
us in the prayer, okay? Did you say
Throw us in the
Sierra's
prayer. Tell them what you did. Tell her.
Yeah.
Tell her what you told me
About what?
about how you fasted.
Oh, yeah.
Because I really think that's important.
So before I met TJ, I had just got out of a relationship, and I had fasted, and it was like my first real intimate fast, just me and God. And I had got the job at Quicken, and people was like telling me about TJ, and I'm just like, okay, who is this person? And I was in between two people, Celeste and this girl named Melissa, and Celeste actually came to the wedding, so that was funny. But I was sitting between them two, and he literally walked past me. And when he walked past me, I promise you, God was like, that is your husband.
Girl.
And I looked at them and I told them, I was like, if I tell y'all something, would y'all think I'm crazy?
She
and
had
they was
never
like,
talked to him.
you are already crazy. And I was like, that's true. And I was like, y'all, that's my husband. And they was like,
Wow.
girl, you crazy. And I was like, okay, like, you know, talking to non-spiritual people. So I was like, okay, whatever. And here we are. He my husband.
Okay.
He my husband. So it's just, yeah, fasting is very powerful.
I'm fasting right now, girl. Come on. I really am. I'm on day 3.
Really?
I am.
Okay, what fast?
So
what are you doing?
Originally, this started as consecration
Right.
from my
Okay.
church.
Yeah.
And first off, this is, I believe, like my first legitimate, like you said, actual intimate, getting God's face fast. And we've been going since Sunday. And now I've been hangry. I'm not even gonna lie. Like,
Not
I've been hangry, but I've been clear. I've been very clear. I've had time to pray about things that have been sitting in my spirit.
Yes.
I'm reading my devotional every night. I'm talking to God throughout the day. I'm really being intentional about the things that I'm putting in the atmosphere right now during this fast.
Yeah.
And something I'm not ready to announce yet, but something really big was birthed out of this consecration. And I'm only 3 days in.
I love it.
So it's something that's sat on my heart for a while. And yesterday I took my own advice and I jumped.
I love
And
it.
honestly, it's already paying off. So be on the lookout.
Yes. I cannot wait. Yes.
I think people underestimate like the power of that, like of fasting. Is so powerful.
And manifestation. Like, I
Yes.
feel like manifestation,
Yes.
quote unquote,
Yes.
has gotten such a bad rap.
Yeah.
But a lot of things, whether you take it from the Bible, and I'm a very spiritual person. I
Yeah.
go to church. I was raised in God. I think when people take manifest and put this bad emphasis on it,
Yeah.
it's no different than when God told you to write the vision and make it plain.
Yeah.
That's what he told you to do. The good
Yeah.
book tells that.
Yeah.
So why are we now arguing over semantics
Yeah.
when we are really
Yeah.
saying the same thing?
The
Write
root
your
of it is still
vision.
the same.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or say he asked you, you have not because you asked not.
Come on.
Come
Yeah.
don't get me preaching.
You didn't
out here,
listen.
y'all.
You stir. I'm over here like.
Yes.
Try to sit still.
Yes.
But that's what it is. Who am I? If he's already promised me the kingdom, who am I not to come and take it?
Who am I not to ask for it and say that it's already mine? That's
He
what he's
already gave it
waiting
to
on
you.
you to say.
That's it.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel in this career. Like, I sat so long in desire, in wanting to,
And hope.
and thinking I'm not good enough, and doubt. And it's like, for what? This man gave me this. This was his gift
That's
to
your
me.
gift.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I think it does God a disservice when you are not thriving, not living in it, thriving in your gift,
Yeah.
because he already set the conditions for you to make
Yeah.
it. So for women, once again, the conditions have already been set. Like,
Yes.
whatever doubt, whatever fear it's self-inflicted at that point because the path is clear. You just got to walk it.
Yes.
She just started up so many questions now.
Yes.
Girl, light me up.
Yes.
Light me up.
It's important because I literally had this conversation with Princess. I was like, I'll be like, I just want to be normal. You know, I want to be that normal. Okay, I'm okay working a 9-to-5 person, but I'm not.
You're not.
Even when I'm going to sleep, I'm having like visions and like all this creative stuff is running through my brain. And I'm like, oh, I'm like tossing and turning. I'm like thinking about what's the next big thing I'm going to do. And I was literally having this conversation with my mom. I was like, I don't think I like want to do this. Like, I don't want to work this job. Like, I know everybody keeps telling me, go into banking. It's going to change your life. You're going to make all this money. I'm like, oh, I'm going to make all this money, but am I going to really be doing what God wants me to do? Like, am I really going to be operating in my purpose? No.
And that purpose is always going to pull you if you're not operating in it. It doesn't matter what you do, work-wise, life-wise. Journalism, I was blessed to be able to write here and there at that little mortgage lender. I was able to write a couple things, you know, that was featured in their publications and things of that nature, but it wasn't enough. And to this day, I have a boss who was my boss at there. And she still, to this day, messages me and tells me how proud she is because she saw the dream. She knew I never gave up on it. So when I was posting, I think one of the stories was like the Big Sean story, which was one of my, thank you, God, one of my really major stories that kind of propel my name out there. Big Sean shared it. So at that point, like celebrities started following me and things like that. When that story came out, she messaged me and was just proud. And she's always showing her pride in me. And that, I don't think she understands, means more to me than anything. As women, Black, white, Hispanic, whatever, we are our own community. We get kicked down enough, and we have to get to a point where we are celebrating and uplifting each other.
Yes. I think one thing that you said really stuck out to me. It was a lot of things you said, but when Bree was talking, it's funny how like God strategically like will start pulling you, and it will like literally disrupt your sleep. And when you was talking about like money, how you took a pay cut to pursue like your passion. And I like that spoke to me too, because I feel like you know how you be like that in and out on that like that little, you know, cycle where you get a job and then you like, oh,
I hate it. We ain't even gonna miss words. I hate it here.
Like, and then you like, okay, so I still want to do this, and then you quit, and then you start working it, and then you like, okay, I gotta go back. It's like that in and out thing. But what you said, I think, was so important. Like, a lot of people choose money. Basically, I feel like maybe because of their circumstance. So, again, what advice would you give? Like the person that may have like responsibilities that may, like I can't quit my job, but their purpose, is pulling on them. Like God is literally pulling on them.
I would say that you are me. God was pulling me and I was questioning it. Why would I quit? Like, yeah, I hate this job, but I love my downtown apartment. I love my truck that I lease, you know. But I would say there is nothing that you can't do. Walk in it. If you need to take a pay cut or if you know your finances are going to be in question, start stacking a little bit to the side. $50, $20, whatever your budget allows, put that to the side and make that, I called it my get out of jail free card. This was the money that I knew was going to sustain me once I left. Because I had, once again, no intention. I have no intention of going to work for anybody else.
I love it.
Because God gave it to me. And every morning, I tell myself, I look in the mirror and I say, Megan, you can do this.
I love it.
Every single morning. So whatever speaks to your soul, wake up in the morning, get yourself in the mirror and be like, girl, you got this. Girl, you're doing a good job.
Now, you do got to watch Insecure because she be talking to herself in the mirror.
That is totally something something Issa would do.
Yes. Oh yeah, I
Yes.
definitely. I
You have
look
to.
myself in the face. I'm
Yes.
like, Megan, you can do this.
Yes.
And I go do it.
I love it.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for
Well,
sharing
thank you.
everything about yourself and all the
Yes.
gems you dropped. So I need one more gem drops.
Okay.
We like to end our show with a daily affirmation. So what is an affirmation that you'd like to share with us?
Oh goodness. Honestly, what I've been living by, write the vision and make it plain.
Yeah.
That's it. The rest of the scripture says so other people can come and help you along your journey. So write that vision, guys. Make it obvious. Put it on a vision board. Put it on social media.
Yes.
And people who want to see you win, people who want to see you shine will have no problem propelling you to that space.
Amen. Yes.
Oh my God. I feel like I'm encouraged.
Hey.
Thank you, Kissing.
Well, please tell the people how they can follow you.
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, you can check me out on Facebook or at Megan, Megan, D Kirk, D as in dog, or Instagram at _EMMKAY_. And I do follow back. I will DM you back. You can ask questions. I am an open book.
I love
Yes.
it.
And make sure y'all stream this episode. It is available on Apple, Spotify, as well as iHeart. And you can also catch us on sdmlive.com and YouTube for the visual. Until next time, guys, this is Women Who Shine.
Bye.
Bye.
Make a move, make it matter. Yeah. Forget the rest.
How y'all feeling that?
You're rocking with the best radio station on the planet. SDM Live Unplugged.